Blue-white control in Historic here. This deck actually got a ton of upgrades with Theros. It's our second time playing it through. Shatter the Sky is excellent. Dream Trawler is just one of the best control finishers we've had in a long time. Chat, thank you for the 40 months and for the very generous tier 3 at that. Welcome back. Hope your January is finding you swell in 2020. Thassa's Intervention, I think, is also subtly one of the biggest upgrades to these blue control decks they've gotten in a long time. So a card that is a split effect of kind of a counter spell on 3, but also card advantage late, so it's helping you find answers to impact the board, is really potent. Birth is a phenomenal card against aggressive decks. This is like not quite Wall of Omens, but very similar. It's like if Wall of Omens always drew you a basic planes, which often on turn 2 in decks like this, drawing basic planes is what you're interested in doing. Omen of the Sea is a cheap cantrip effect that's also very good with Teferi Time Raveler, so you can downtick your Teferi to pick your Omen back up to be able to cantrip with it again. So let's go ahead and head on into a historic event here with this one and see how it goes. The fact that Teferi is the background for the historic event feels rather fitting. Feels appropriate. I think Absorb's kind of clunky overall, and it gets hedged out by Thassa's Intervention. I think Intervention's the better card. I think Absorb's almost certainly better against mono red, but with Birth, you have a good hedge against mono red already. Both Birth and Trawler give you okay hedges against mono red. It really was, Bob. Yeah, if you look at this deck list and just count the number of Theros cards by raw number, it's just huge. You look forward to getting Nexus. I think this deck has an okay Nexus matchup. A lot of good counter spells, and Trawler kills them. Ah, yes. Blue-white gate stock deck. Yeah, this card's very good against aggressive decks. We tried the green-white Boggles decks that's been floating around standard. Yeah, we played green-white enchantments yesterday. You can find the archive on my YouTube channel and my website. I mean, I don't even know that Nexus of Fate's very good in this format, so I think there are plenty of people who just enjoy that play pattern. That's super unfortunate. Omen of the Sea, thankfully an instant, so we can draw with it on their turn. Thanks, Beansy. Yeah, they had a good touch. Cost me a little bit of money to pay an artist to do, but I think they add value. One thing I realized the other day that I've actually never asked on a sub-survey, which seems like a big miss on my part, I need to put a question on the March survey about if people find my website of value. Because I spend a lot of effort on the website, and I wonder if I should definitely take the time to measure if it's worthwhile. Feels bad, man. Well, now that we're in Esper jail, and I can't draw cards on their turn anymore. Your website has value. It's a strong 2-for-1. Excellent. I'm just gonna play the other Birth here. I want to try and hit land so we can get up to the Dream Trawler here on curve. Yeah, I know some amount of people use it. I should just take a more formal measurement of what percentage of people who pay me find it useful.
Here we go. Right on schedule. No time for a break.
Yeah, it feels like garbage time at this point. It's like all their planeswalkers came down and we had cards that just didn't really do anything. Yeah, I could probably avoid slogging this out. Cut a bunch of the cards that aren't good. I wonder if I'm supposed to leave some number of Shatter in for opposing Dream Trawlers. That might be a possibility. I do have Stroke and Intervention. Yeah, leaving one Shatter in to, like, find... Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, the fact that I kept a hand that had a bunch of tap lands in it definitely cost us there. Oh, feels bad, man. Gonna draw a card with this right away in case they Narset us next turn. So I think I go ahead and field this castle now. We'll grab an island, play the plains, play the search for Azcanta. They're only going up to 4 mana next turn, so that's not the big Tef turn, so I don't think I need to hold up Stroke. Yeah, the nice thing about Field of Ruin versus something like Mobilize District is what you see here, whereas, like, it can be color fixing in a pinch, so it's not just a colorless land, it can also be a slow Evolving Wilds. I think that flexibility is pretty important. I bet they're probably not playing Murderous Rider if they're playing Narset Barter Veils a bunch. I guess they could be playing both. Noxious Grasp, yep. Wow, that's really good. Maybe I shouldn't offer them the Liliana because that kills Dream Trawler. Gosh, feels like we just got dumpstered here. Our threats, our answers have not lined up well into their threats. Like, I need to draw answers, but I also, like, need lands. When am I streaming till today? Thursday is going to be a shorter day till about 2 o'clock today. As always, you can find what I'm streaming and when on my website here. We have our redemption arc in the cards I own bracket, hopefully.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
I think I just play this and tuck this in. And then, like, next turn, they get to, like, play second Narset and then Noxious Grasp this. But then they're, like, not Noxious Grasping our Time Raveler. I can't draw a card. They have a Narset Border Veils in play. Yeah, if we manage to flip the Azcanta, we might be okay here. Teferi on their own is a pretty big beating. This lets them get the card advantage going, and they still get to kill. Oh, they don't get to kill our Teferi in a turn because they leave that there. Okay, now this might be able to pull things out for us. So I get to do this. This doesn't draw me a card, but it does untap my lands. So I get to do this, play Dream Trawler, and then stroke their Lily on a next turn. And then Trawler can take Narset off the table, and maybe we go from there. How was Pioneer this morning? Kind of a dumpster fire. Bad luck or just bad decks? The second deck wasn't good. It was a medium deck with bad matchups. What was the first deck we played today? They also, because they're currently playing Hearthstone, they can't, like, tuck my Dream Trawler and then kill it in response when I discard a card. That's rude. Oh, yeah, the black-red discard deck. Yeah, the first deck was also kind of medium. So if they have 2 removal spells for Trawler here. So it's 3 cards in my bin. Still, oh right, Agonizing. Exiled that. That's annoying. That's a phenomenal draw. So I get to have Teferi kill Narset. Or sorry, have Trawler kill Narset. And then this draws a card.
Hold that thought.
And then honestly, I think I'm just going to go ahead and bounce this. Like, they have so many cards in their hand. I think we're just, like, trying to win this game via tempo. So we have double counterspell here. And can discard cards to protect Trawler. Trawler's going to kill their hero of Dominaria next turn. Gosh, I think Trawler might drag us kicking and screaming out of this game. Yeah, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot now. I think I want to protect my Teferi. I don't know, maybe that's wrong. They can't Liliana here. They can play a 5th land, but not another one past that. If they play Narset, I just get to attack her down. It's like they get to Impulse looking for a threat, but... Oh, they're just not using Narset. That's really smart. Yeah, that one can stay there. All right, so here's a thought. Do I now tuck their Narset, kill their Teferi? I think that's the line. It lets me draw a card too.
Those who cannot hone your prowess.
Here goes nothing.
6 cards in the bin, so Azcanta's gonna get to flip next turn.
Keep an open mind.
Let's try this.
Muted. It was agreeing with the fact that Teferi removes a lot of the interesting parts of these games. The answer to, did my thing work, is always yes when Teferi is in play. I think I just let this happen, huh? If they play Narset here, we just get to Conquer's Death it. And I have a Hero of Dominaria in my bin here too. Yeah, that's very true. The pivotal turn has kind of changed in these decks now. What's the, as far as like which is the cards you really care about? My first time playing blue-white control. It is not. It's our second time through. Felt pretty reasonable the first time. Well, if we weren't already in garbage time, we certainly are now.
This might be a bad idea.
Yeah, so like with Veto and Stroke, we just have to hit them one more time and then we're all done here. The second chapter of Conquer's Death is actually super relevant in these control mirrors. Just like, hey, all of your stuff costs more on my turn. Like, even if they have discard spell into Liliana here, that's not good enough because I have Veto now. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. They definitely have Trawler. Do I want another Shatter? Because they definitely have Trawler. Maybe. Yeah, probably not. All right, I'm gonna pop my teeth things out here and eat an early lunch. What cards do you think they're playing that Devout Decrees answers? It's literally exactly Liliana? Or is there something else you're thinking of?
Stand by and watch.
They're kind of like my internet bill. Feels weird to not pay you monthly. Well, thanks for the support, Joe Smasher. Welcome back.
I train ever, meditate, and prepare.
I mean, I guess I just take this, right? Because the intervention doesn't really do much while they have Time Raveler in play.
I'll protect you. This isn't a fight you can win. Here we go. Let's try this.
I think if you're in the market for top-end bombs and you're not playing for Glorybringer in your red deck, you're probably making a mistake in Pioneer. Pretty sure I just get rid of this because in 2 turns, this gets back Dream Trawler.
I know aid is with the thoughtfulness before action.
So the problem with Ixalan's Binding is actually because of 3-mana Teferi. So if you Ixalan's Binding them on anything other than 3-mana Teferi, their 3-mana Teferi is going to come down and bounce the Binding and give them added value back. So, as is frequently the case, we were the less greedy deck in that matchup. Need a whale emote? We have a whale emote, Mikey. Got a whale emote for a little bit. Yeah, this is fine. I think I bought him one of these. I think I bought him Search. I just hope they're not playing a control deck. Hopefully they're a matchup where this has text. So, get to crack and scry with this. Play Shatter, play Planeswalker, play Conqueror's Death. Looks good. Oh yeah, Mikey, only the Hoaglandia whales have a whale emote. You gotta be a whale to have the whale. How do you get the whale emote? The whale emote is one of the bit emotes on the channel. So if you've cheered 10k bits, you have the whale emote. Man, why did I even scry? Why did I even scry? We have our lands lined up. The standard metagame challenge is best of 3. Yeah, I have no desire to gamble though. I don't need in-game currency. Welcome back, Trey. Have the sword back that you dropped. Yeah, the bit emotes are something that's new. So the first 3 bit emotes are the regular whale, the burrito center, and then the jester eating. Those are the 3 bit emotes that we have. I think I just conquers death this Heliod here. Just take him out. And then hopefully they just play out more stuff that plays to the board this turn that dies to Shatter. Yeah, the burrito center is if you donated a burrito's worth of bits. Thereabouts. It's the 1k bit badge. I mean, in the opponent's defense, we are running out of gas here, right?
Trust me. You'll thank me later. Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Was it too greedy to Omen there? Yeah, I think so. So the problem is I only have 1 more Shatter in my deck. And like I can Teferi plus seal away this, but I'm taking exactly 3. I think we're just dead, right? Feels just dead. Alright, so extra Shatter's good. Baffling End's great. Time Wipe's good. Veto's not stellar. Narset just gets attacked down. Rookie mistake not playing Dismal Backwater. You're not wrong, Maddie. That is a good catch. Their thing wouldn't have been a 2-2 if they didn't have another creature. If my big Tef down tick, there was a chance we weren't dead. Sounds fine. We're kind of hoping they play a castle so we can turn this field into an island. Our mana's not been super kind to us so far. Looking forward to playing mono black after this. The mana and blue white's not been very good to us so far. Yeah, maybe it's wronged intervention in that last game. I don't even really know what I was looking for, so maybe I should have just impacted the board. Probably just like intervention, draw 2 here, untap Shatter. Depending on what else they commit to the board. If they don't commit anything else to the board, we just like untap Teferi. Yeah, I think I'm in the market for land 6. That's fine. Land 6 untapped lets me go Teferi plus intervention for 1 to counter unless they pay 2 the following turn. Seems okay.
What it takes. And so, I am proud of those who walk beside me.
So, we could just Conquer's Death here. The problem is then we don't get value out of Conquer's Death last chapter. But the Ajani is pretty scary, right? Yeah, I'm probably just supposed to do this. This is perfect because I get to discard Teferi to it and then bring it back with Conqueror's Death. AC Unit, thank you for the 24 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. One of your finest extra bits of loyalty, please. Am I tucking this in? I think I'm just gonna plus. Perfect, yeah. It might be right to plus to like do this after, decide what I do, but like plussing first lets me draw it, let deal extra damage, which is nice. That's also perfect. So I get to go Baffling End your Vanguard, Time Raveler, bounce your Pridemate. Yeah, we should solidly be in garbage time here at this point. And then this is the easy game. Remember, this is the game where we were on the play, so I might have a challenging one on the draw. I've not seen any reasonable Nyx Lotus decks so far. In part, I'd be kind of surprised if they exist. Because, what's the best way to phrase this? Because the normal ramp decks are just so good at what they do. I feel like you don't need to go that extra bit for Nyx Lotus to get a payoff. Like, the payoff you're getting from Nyx Lotus, you can get more consistently from just playing Simic Ramp. Sure, but like the thing you're just describing, Simic Ramp just does that. So like, why would I rather... Why would I do that? Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to try and counter Heliod this turn. I don't know. Could go either way. Yeah, I'm saying not. I don't know that win more is strictly the correct phrasing, so much as just it's not the best tool for the job. Like, and again, like, it could probably still be fine and you're almost certainly going to win games. Magic's got a lot of variance. I'm just saying what you're doing with the Nyx Lotus, you could do a similar thing more consistently by just playing Simic Ramp. So it's really a good example of don't ask yourself if you can do this thing. Ask yourself if you should be doing this thing. Is doing the thing you're trying to do useful? Sure. It's a lot like the Reanimator decks from previous standard season, even this standard season, right? Like, why should you play Reanimator when you could just ramp to 7 and 8 and cast those spells? That was pretty bold. We have Search and Play, and they named Hero of Dominaria. Yeah, Field going to allow us to hopefully beat a card here that we otherwise would have a really hard time with. He says before his opponent plays an additional card that's going to give us a really hard time. So we do have to try and beat Castle here now, and the fact that we're at 8 might make that a challenge. So I am going to kill this one because it's the cheaper one for making 1/1s. So we're going to be looking for our second copy of Field of Ruin here, or a Dream Trawler, so we can just race them. Time Wipe, looking good as a 5th sweeper in our deck. Now, one thing that's a little scary here is them getting up to 36 means that Johnny's Flavor text is active. Linden is incredibly good against my Seal Away here. Less good against my own castle. That's exciting. My castle kind of checks their castle in a way, right? I have 6 cards in my bin, so we bin something next turn with Azcanta. We get to flip it. That's perfect. So not flipping Search here because I want that card. To the person who just messaged me asking about their deck donation, decks get added to the queue at the end of every stream. So if you donate overnight, I usually don't update the deck queue in the morning before I go live. So if you send me a donation, it'll get added this afternoon after I'm no longer live. Usually my process is I go live, once I sign off, I upload stuff to YouTube, and then I go through and update all the deck stuff. Trade Z's. My token's strictly better than theirs, though, because their token's not foil. Yeah, I'm just going to let this happen. I can trade a castle token for it. Goodbye, Linden. Linden Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. Do 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 do. This is on Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, for anybody wondering what this card is currently naming. This is counter unless they pay 6. Did we bottom a trawler? That is worth noting. Castle 2, the Electric Boogaloo. I forgot when we were talking about our answers to their castles that, like, I just got to play Castle myself. It's pretty sweet. Conquerors would have got Trawler. No, the Trawler's on the bottom of our deck, not in our discard pile. No problem, Bazinski. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and activate the castle, and I'm gonna chump block the Leonin Vanguard, and then we'll Shatter the Sky next turn to clean the board out. So we'll go to 3, but also activate this Azcanta. This actually sounds stellar, huh? Oh, I ticked up Teferi. We totally did. You're right. We totally did.
I'll protect you.
Good pointing that out. That wasn't on my mind. So I also ticked up Teferi here, so now I can just pass. You're gonna bounce the Baffling End instead of their creature and giving them a 3/3. So my plan for next turn is to bounce Baffling End, play Teferi, bounce their thing. Spyglass is on Big Tef. We'll shoot. No greater treasure than quiet times with friends.
Our true strength lies in our friendships. I've got it. I am not going to sit this. Don't worry. I got this.
That's not a bad turn.
I am proud of those who walk.
So this thing can exile all my stuff if it really wanted. I feel like we're still in garbage time here. I'm just like waiting on a Dream Trawler. I mean, making 1/1s doesn't really do anything for them because I have more mana than they do. And I have 2 castles as well. So, like, I just keep their castles pretty solidly in check, right? There's 24 cards in my deck at this point.
This might be a bad idea. Right on schedule. I've got time.
Hopefully Trawler doesn't mill us by the time we get to it. I guess that's a real thought, huh? I need to. Am I out of Time Ravelers? I'm not quite out of Time Ravelers yet. There's one more in my deck. You appreciate the speed at which we've played this game. This is not a Gabriel Nassif stream, that's for sure. These things we are not.
I sense the good in your
Did I just click through activating my Azcanta? I definitely did. That's awkward.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Hey, Canister, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream today. I think we're just passing. Yes, yeah, the goal here is going to be to set up Teferi tucking himself. So we're going to need to take the Spyglass off the table for that route to victory to happen. Am I still countering this if I hit a Conqueror's Death? I feel like I am. How many interventions do I have left? I have 2 more interventions in my deck. I have 2 more interventions in my deck. I think I still counter because this stuff just gets too big otherwise. I can actually counter this and then still castle this turn. I just have so many lands. Yeah, I do need to conquer a Johnny before we get to a point where we have Dream Trawler in play. This token's not a big deal because I have Seal Away and Baffling End. Creatures, artifacts. Oh, it doesn't exile Planeswalkers. That's true. Oh, I should have. Small mistake here, technically. Should have done this before they made that, but it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter.
That's more like it.
That's more like it. Okay, and they're actually just on no resources. It's very possible we could just, like, double castle them out of this game, too. I have a few avenues to victory here. Alright, put a trawler on the bottom. Can't quite activate another castle here just yet. I can scry, though. Guess I can also omen. But I just had enough. Alright. It's gonna take us a lot of game actions with how much life they have, but we're definitely super far ahead there. Alright, so we're nowhere near done with this deck yet. We're gonna play probably another 2 or 3 matches with it. I need to run to the restroom, though, and brush my teeth and put my Invisalign back in. So I'm gonna hit a quick ad while I do that. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for the folks that waited through. Sorry about that. Restart arena? Nah, it's fine. We've been playing for less than an hour. Hopefully it doesn't need a restart. Hopefully. Alright, sand sounds good. Hopefully we're playing a matchup where these have text. This at least gets us a plains, but hopefully there are creature decks, so these steal aways do something. Again, kind of like typical control/interactive deck problems, like keeping a hand based on a premise. Sweet. Wow, is there a lot of Soul Sisters in this format? I guess Sisters did get the most upgrades in cards from Theros. I wonder what cards we're gonna see get added in the next historic anthology. Because, like, Sisters wouldn't be nearly as good of a deck in this format if that anthology cards didn't exist. With Runeterra going into open beta today, let's just make a command for it. It's probably going to be super relevant. Alright, so I think we just pass here. So that way we can seal away this Pridemate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it hits open beta today. Huh. So, Dawn of Hope's kind of expensive for them to draw cards with, and if I get Narset down, I don't really care, right? So I think I just let this happen. I saw a Kibler tweet that he planned to play today. Yeah, I saw a Kibler post that he plans to play today. I don't know, I mean, a lot of people don't care about that kind of stuff, Bulletproof Pope. So, like, the TLDR is that, like, as long as Magix allows me to be a job, I plan to continue being here doing Magic stuff. So, I think I just play Search here, and this lets me hold up Syncopate for a 3-drop, or maybe a 2-drop if they miss a land again, and then Omen or Seal Away, potentially, which is great. Johnny's Volcom, that doesn't seem very good. Are we the baddies? No, we don't have Thought Erasure, so we're not like full-on bad folks. We're only mostly bad. Do not need a second search.
If you wish to, I have just the trick for this.
Shatter sounds great. This card, honestly, with Time Raveler and 5-mana Teferi and this being an instant, this card's better than Preordain in a lot of spots in this archetype, I think. Man, auto yield triggers when, please? I feel like I should take a second and post a tweet about Arena desperately needing auto yield triggers, because it really does. With the addition of these Soul Sisters.
Interesting technique.
Just gonna do this to keep my Narset alive, because Narset ensures that their Dawn of Hope doesn't do anything. That's fine. Adds a card to my bin either way, because we play this and the other Narset dies.
Focused and disciplined. Hone your prowess.
I'd love a Hero of Dominaria, thanks. No reason to jam this, because they could just play a Heliod here, and I want to hold up Syncopate in case that happens. Swish, chat, swish. I think I hold on to this card, even though it would flip my search, because in the event they have another Heliod, this gives me an out. Yeah, solidly in garbage time at this point. Opponent was not able to put enough pressure on to start here. It's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Hey, look, I came back and they conceded. That's nice. All right, so just like we boarded last time, Baffling End, Shatter, Time Wipe, Veto's out. What else did I cut last time? Probably Narsets. Seems good. Level 2 Gaming, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Wait, it's MTGA count on your timer when you F6 through your opponent's triggers. Cause Arena. Easy mulligan here, even though we have lands and spells, the opponent's deck is on the play and they're kind of aggressive. So I think we want like a Baffling End to seal away the Birth of Meletis. Cards like those. Stands fine. I'm actually going to bottom a land here and keep the Dream Trawler just so we can have a threat right away. 3 lands is plenty. They seem more focused on enchantments. Not really. They had like 2 enchantments that kind of synergize with the rest of what their deck is doing, but still seems like an aggressive deck at the core. Shatter the Sky. All right, so do I just plan to sweep on 4 then? I think so. I could get into trouble if they have Unbreakable formation. I guess that's a lot of damage. Maybe I Baffling End the Pridemate just to avoid taking like 6. Is it worth using Baffling End or Seal Away as a gain 6? Maybe. I'm gonna pass. If they don't play a creature, I'm gonna Seal Away. Maybe, yeah. So you can't add children's songs to list, but they also didn't remove the children's songs that were already there. Is that because of Kappa stuff? All right, my body is ready to get Unbreakable formation and die. Sick. Maybe they are playing like a bigger build and they have a bunch of 3, 4, and 5 mana, or 4, 5, and 6 mana cards in their hand. And they have just like a bunch of Ajani's. Okay, sure. Guys, like, doesn't really matter. They like make a token, I bounce the token, I Conquer's Death the Ajani. Alright, so do I Conquer's Death the Ajani or do I just play the Dream Trawler? I feel like I just play the Dream Trawler, huh? They're losing because they chose the wrong sleeves. Yeah, I feel like putting Lightning Bolt sleeves on your life gain deck is like bad karma. Hey, XM, thank you for the entire year of support. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Closest thing playable to a burn deck, though. I don't know about that. Mono red's pretty okay in this format. Hey, Baka Nation, thank you for the 15 months of support. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Maybe I'm supposed to seal away the tokens, that way I could Teferi bounce the seal away later. Could be a possibility. They can't win with Trawler on the board. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Don't worry, I got this.
And like, this exiles their thing, and then like next turn my Teferi gets to down tick and pick my Teferi gets to down tick and pick Conqueror's Death back up. So I just like have a removal spell in the tank. The fact that this is like enchantment removal that doesn't have like the Banishing Light or Prison Realm clause is just so very good. Alright. Dumpster and Soul Sisters, chat. If you are playing Soul Sisters, you want to make sure you have Planeswalkers in your sideboard to help the control matchup. 3-mana Gideon and the Escape Elspeth are both good choices for helping you have more play against the control decks. Yeah, I guess I keep this. I need a second blue, but like Syncopate's good in a control matchup, and so are these. And I've got Shatter in the event that they're playing an aggro deck. Yeah, a lot of people, the big one people miss is we had 2 or 3 different people try to conquer death our red-black Titan when we played it on stream the other day. Because, like, it escapes for 4, but the converted mana cost is 2 because of the printed cost. So far, this historic event has been 2 Esper controls and 2... We've played against 2 Esper controls and 2 Soul Sisters. You know, we're actually going to be playing Black Devotion next. That probably doesn't bode well. You think they just used the wrong mode on that? What are the odds they just chose the wrong mode on that? 100%? I mean, they're going to get to kill our thing at least still, right? They got that going for him. Sergeant Shotmaster, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I really appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having an excellent Thursday wherever you are. For folks who are my regulars, I'm going to be streaming this weekend again, by the way. Added that to my schedule a little bit late because there's no major Magic tournaments this weekend. Oh, they're Grixis. They're not Esper. Okay, a little variety in our constructed event. Both of those sound great, right? I think I'm just in. This is like their Nicol Bolas turn, so I think I just pass. You wouldn't have given up your Teferi. How do you propose I choose to not give up my Teferi? Yeah, there's no release weekend SCG tournament. I'm using Deckmaster. Cardboard Live's a closed source application, so I can't recompile it for Linux. I've enjoyed watching you play. I just discovered Arena and haven't been played since Revised 94, and it's fun to get back into Magic. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's one thing Arena's really done. It's helped a lot of people who like played at some point in their lives and like took a break because playing paper can be a bit of a chore sometimes to find their way back into Magic. Huh? So like, our lack of a third blue source here is super awkward. I could try and be a little bit greedy. I think I'm gonna Teferi, bounce their Rider, and then like hope to draw blue and play Narset. Should have been more specific about the hope to draw blue part, chat. The devil is in the details, as they say. I would recommend reassessing your card evaluation skills if you don't think Birth is constructed playable. I think Birth is very, very good, and is a card that not only wants to see play in this format, but likely wants to see play in Pioneer as well. Pioneer, Standard, Historic, I think it's good in all these places. Thassa's Intervention sounds excellent. Although maybe I'm just supposed to take Search there. Search against Grixis tends to be pretty good. Honestly, some of the lower power leveled, not even lower power level, cards that are less flashy like that in a way can be harder to evaluate than the ones that are big bombs. Especially ones that are using kind of new formatting templates compared to like things we're traditionally used to looking at. Super rewarded for bottoming the search earlier. Yeah, it's not a flashy card. It's just the sum of its parts are very reasonable. Do I just stick search here? Nah, I'm just gonna pass with Veto and Intervention up, I think. Also have a castle activation here if I want it. Yikes! Alright, yep. Whoa, they punted. Deal. Deal. Papi! In it to win it, ladies and gentlemen. In it to win it. I cannot believe they didn't emblem me. If they emblem me, we were going to scry 4 draw a card, but... Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, chat. Maybe they have another one, yeah. Zigzol, thanks for the year and a half. All right, so a little trick you can do with Omen when you have plenty of mana is you can respond to its enters play trigger by sacrificing it, so you get 2 scry 2s before you draw. So if you're looking for a particular card, you can give yourself a bunch of looks at it. So we get to play this, plus the Time Raveler. We'll probably Shattering the Sky next turn. I concur with our opponent that we are into garbage time. I think this deck's super reasonable. I think this archetype's good not only in this format, but also in Standard. And like, if you look at this deck and just think about how many cards from Theros are here, really a big boon. Alright, this is a matchup where Seal Away and Birth are both a little bit middling. Shatter the Sky is probably not something we want. Do I want to leave Disdainful Stroke in? Yeah, I think Theros to me is just, again, another gentle reminder of just how difficult it is to evaluate sets by just looking at the spoiler. Like, if you would have asked me, Jeff, do you think Theros is going to change any formats very much, I probably would have told you no without playing with the cards. And after playing with them a bunch, there's just a ton of like really sweet, subtly powerful designs that just slot really elegantly into these decks that existed, that like bring them up from like, you know, 5s or 5.5s to like 6s, 7s, 8s, etc. I think I like this configuration. They might be more creature based, so maybe not bringing leaving Shatter in is wrong. We'll see. Stroke may or may not be good as well. Opponent's playing a bit of a brew, so we don't know a ton of what their deck is doing. How goes the quest to dethrone Simic? The aggro decks can get under it, is about where we're at there. Really, Brad? You beat the decks that just have like four Agent of Treacheries in them? I guess Mayhem Devil Unchecked does let Jund sack. I haven't played much Jund sack because Jund sack's just like doesn't have any new cards in it. But you're right. It could be that the answer to the new thing is just play the old thing. I would believe that. I think I'll take the Syncopate here. Woe Strider plus Treacherous Blessing. I saw your list with Blessing in it. Blessing's a little weird. I guess you gain enough life that the downside doesn't really matter. No respect for Dimir. Listen, Matt, I love you, but your Dimir deck's bad and you should feel bad. Are we just scrying here? I think we're just scrying. Just want to hit some land drops. Huh? Alright, I'm gonna be greedy and keep one of these. It gains you like 500. It did gain us a lot of rank. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's that we did win every match we played with it. To be fair, the Dimir deck got two different cards that let it interact with enchantments. That's troublesome. Feel like they might have a Syncopate or a Quench here. Some kind of negate counter of their own. Really? Okay. I think I'm just going to continue to pass with this intervention in my hand. I don't want to tap out for Teferi and then get like Nicol Bolas. Well, I guess I have Decree and Conquer's Death. Wow, was my read on the counterspell right? It was. Okay. Hero of Dominaria has been named with the Spyglass, so all the planeswalkers in my hand are active. Well, that was the land I wanted for Christmas, even if it didn't quite come into play untapped. What happened to Brazen Borrower? I don't know. It just kind of got edged out, I guess. Yep. Well, you know. Unfortunate that we just bought him to Trawler there. I know I'm not drawing a card here, but I think I want to keep their search out of play for now. Because I don't want them to find the red source for Chandra. Yeah, I think that's a good assessment. Brazen Borrower was never an amazing control card. It was just like less bad than the other things that you have and had before. And control has gained like a lot of good tools in the new set. He's dead, Jim.
Right on schedule. I've got time.
I'm gonna plus him this time And then we'll bounce Search for it. So it's going to be a Chandra. They kept a card, so I assume it's like a Chandra or Nicol Bolas here. Next turn, I would like to bounce. Yeah, I would like to bounce the Search, and then we can counter it on the way back down. Goodbye, Nick. Wonder what the odds are there's a mountain in their deck. Let's find out. Probably is. Because, like, with the second field drawn, I can take that risk and still answer the search, right? We're using up all our cumulative variance, something like that. So I gotta save this other field for the search. I guess I'm just conquering death here. I'm getting rid of that.
I'll protect you.
Let's make this quick. I've got other things to work. Let's get toasted.
All right, so we're on a clock. We've got one Chandra emblem here. Okay, perfect. Just like we drew it up. Am I picking up Conquer's Death or am I using this? I feel like I'm just picking up Conquer's Death. The third mode is just getting back Teferi. See, I think I pick up Conquer's Death because it's a safety valve in the event that my opponent takes the Trawler off the table. So that way, like, if they kill this a turn or two from now, I can use the Conquer's Death to get the Trawler back. When you're good, chat. When you're good, you're good. Swish. Swish. God bless America, my country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So we're dead, right? This is how we lost Esper Control too. Just like, can't beat Command the Dreadhorde. Game 3, they did exactly this to us. They like took our stuff and took our Dream Trawler. Chat, they have a card in their hand, chat. And they have a search for Azcanta. So we are super dead. They're at 1 with no life gain. They literally have Dream Trawler on the board. There's literally a Dream Trawler in play. Let me bring in the strokes. Dream Trawler's got lifelink, chat, among all the other things it does. Board in Shatter is a hedge? Nah. I'd rather just have more counter spells. Trawler is definitely got some soup going on it. That is for sure. In. If they don't give us something to counterspell next turn, I think I might just draw 2 with an intervention. I'm gonna draw 2 as well. Fair. Fair's fair. I mean, to be fair, Cade, they're probably just spot checking you and making sure you know how your card works. My plans do not include you. Look at the way that Swift ended, my boy.
I am not going to sit this. Let's try this.
Teferi and Omen of the Sea are really just BFFs. Probably should have waited to play my land so I could have played this afterwards. Yeah, you got it. Aetherling seems absurd. Aetherling actually wasn't very good. So it was pretty widely accepted among good Magic players that I knew that Aetherling was a card that bad control players played as a crutch. Whereas Dream Trawler is a genuinely good finisher in large part due to the fact that it can gain you life. So it can stabilize the board against aggro. I feel personally attacked. I think I take Hero of Dominaria here because in the event they have a Chandra, the Syncopate doesn't do anything.
Keep up the pace.
Alright, this is the part where we hope they don't have Nicol Bolas plus Elder Spell, he says before he draws the counter. Just the Stone Cold Perfects. This Conquer's Death is going to get replaced by an Ugin here in a second. Yeah! We did it! Alright, 3-1. Slow and steady. Let's play one more with this before we're rolling into Black Devotion, huh? How'd you get the card preview on MTGO to show up on the overlay? By window capturing the MTGO card preview window. So, on Magic Online, there's a feature where you can have a preview of an enlarged image of whatever you mouse over. And then I used OBS to capture that. Any fun sets this morning? This one's been good. Both the Pioneer decks we played this morning were a little bit disappointing. I'll take a crack at that format again tomorrow, though. There. Is Eat to Extinction better than Contempt due to black versus black? Yeah, quite possibly. The Surveil is also quite good on that card as well. I think I'm just gonna like Teferi as Hey Look a Distraction here.
I'm known for my excellent height. Here we
Looking for an untapped white source here. Think I have to leave that there. It feels bad, but I'm gonna bottoms up here because I get 3 more chances at an untapped white source to shatter this board. That's kind of unreal. I guess I keep it. Maybe I should have just taken the Temple. And they don't give us anything to counterspell. We can sack the Omen, which gives us 4 more looks at an untapped white. They don't seem to have a lot going on either, though, so like perfect. Goodbye, friends. Now, notably, I do not have Dovin's Veto up here anymore because I don't have triple white. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. At least they only got 1 card off of it. Just because someone makes a good play doesn't mean they're ghosting, chat. Playing around Syncopate there is just smart. Their life total doesn't matter. It's a free roll. Wait, did they just take my Dream Trawler while I have Conqueror's Death in play? That's fantastic. Thanks, I appreciate you, opponent. Benko Su, thank you for the 17 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate someone who understands what's about to happen. Appreciate someone who gets it. Seal Away doesn't seem very good here. Birth is probably okay, but not as a 4 of. Extra one of these seems fine. Extra one of these I think is okay. Extra Veto might be fine. This could be a matchup where I want to trim Narset just because she gets pressured off the board. I like bringing an Ugin. I think I like that. Let's give this a try. You're rooting for the opponent. Their username is Free Birthing Pod and they haven't even registered Vanafear. They're a phony. Big fat phony. Sure. They have turn 2 hero on the play. This hand's not super reactive in terms of that, but the rest is fine. There's an enchantment pod too, so really no excuse. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I mean, like, that's not really what we want to see either, but it's better than hero for us, I think, here. Have counterspell into counterspell now. You've given up on WotC fixing modern to somewhere where it would be a playable format. Smart! That means you get it. Yeah, and I'm executing lethal lines with the Vanafear deck while I'm talking to you all and reading chat. Prof White MTG, thank you for the half a year. Welcome back. Hold on, folks. I'm gonna do it again.
I know my responsibility. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Have some lands. So this curve is absurd because we get to go Elspeth, exile your thing. Next turn we jam Dream Trawler, and if they counter Dream Trawler, the Conquer's Death brings it back. Watch you execute the Vanafear chain and the last set on mute while I was in the New York conference call, having to pay attention to the most boring business meeting of the year. Rough. All right, and you get a trawler, and you get a trawler. Everybody gets a trawler. Oh. If they attack with Trawler, do I chump block so I can bring my Trawler back as a bigger threat? That's probably silly, right? Is that silly? I feel like that's not unreasonable. If they mortify me, I just get completely blown out. Yeah, their deck plays Mortify, so that line's probably bad. So I was going to say this is just going to be a silly game where both of us just like hit and gain life each turn. But then we drew a second Trawler, so everything's great. And the Trawlers team up to form quite the squad. So we have to what? We have to like not get time wiped at this point is the goal. Can someone explain why this card is not legendary? Because there's lots of dreams to be trawled, Matthew. Think of him as a painter or a doctor. There's lots of painters and doctors in the world.
If you show room, we need to move quickly.
We need to move quickly. All right, once we get to untap here with like Veto and Intervention. Does that mean we can make a quasi-duplicate Trawler deck? To set the bar low, I've heard worse ideas. All right, and these power each other up, right? So, like, I'm going to get, these are 6 power dorks now.
I'm known for my excellent timing. Hold that thought.
Yeah, so Narset's actually super interesting because Narset means that I can leave one of my trawlers back and then their trawler can't attack through it. And that cuts off their card advantage. I feel like anything other than Time Wipe or just like resolves. Oh, I could also play Narset and just not down ticket and like keep pressuring them. That's probably the lines, like play Narset, no down tick. Wow, what does that do? At the beginning of your end step, put a coin counter on another target creature. When a creature with a coin counter dies or is put into exile, return it to the battlefield under your control. Does that do anything? I think I just let this happen. God, I get to see the animation. It's good value to let it resolve. So I get to see the animation. Yeah, so like they need discard spell. They need discard spells, right? And a sweeper. So like we're doing pretty okay here. Narset, no down tick, pass.
Past, present, and future are bound by threads of time.
So this needs 7 devotion to pop up too, right? Still needs a little bit. So if they need to attack or they're dead. When they attack, this doesn't draw a card because of Narset, so Narset lives. Little Teferi's away they could possibly punch through. They could have a veto of their own here. Works with Merchant, Bellhunt, and Prince. I think the problem with it is that, what's it called? Nightmare Shepherd just kind of does a similar thing, but better, right? Like that card's just like almost completely outclassed by Nightmare Shepherd. All right, we hit the 4-1. That's not bad. I don't know that I really have any changes to this deck. I guess in a world where I'm expecting to play a lot of control mirrors, maybe I want a third Trawler in the 75. That's probably not unreasonable. I don't know that I want a third Trawler main, but like cutting something in the sideboard here for another Trawler is like probably in the range of okay. Like, do I just cut the Ugin? Like, Ugin is okay, but like he's probably just worse Trawler most of the time, right? Seems fine. Now, control decks don't really want to play Tomek. Against Nissa decks, we just like sweep their lands. Is Settle better than Shatter? No. Shatter is very, very good. The games where you want Shatter, you need to kill all of their stuff ASAP. Settle the Wreckage is a card that gets revealed off of different things that we have. It also tends to be very telegraphed when you're holding it up. Its power level tends to be very low. I think it is much, much worse than just a traditional 4-mana sweeper. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while we get set up for this next one. When we get back, we're going to go ahead and play some Black Devotion here in Historic, featuring some copies of Lich's Mastery here at the top end of our curve. So be back in just a few. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for hanging out.